Shalom, friends. It's Rabbi Jenny Solomon here with a Mincha moment. So it's been a little while. I was so blessed and fortunate to accompany an extraordinary group of Beth Meyer congregants and Beth Meyer adjacent folks to Israel over the last couple of weeks. And I am back home, this home anyway, and so grateful to share some words of Torah with you in the form of a mincha moment. So happy July 4th for all those who celebrate and in all the ways that you commemorate the birth of this extraordinary country that we live in, even with all of its brokenness. This Thursday, on the Jewish calendar, we will observe Shiva Asar Tammuz, the 17th of Tammuz, which again, according to Jewish tradition, is what we call a minor fast, a tzom. It's a little bit less restrictive than sort of the full fast that we do on Yom Kippur or on Tisha B'Av. And this day of fasting, this minor fast day, initiates an entire 3-week period as we build towards Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av. So what does this period commemorate? This period, this 3 weeks, which invites us to engage in a series of practices which connote mourning and sorrow. So the 17th of Tammuz is historically the date in which the walls of Jerusalem, of Yerushalayim, were breached, which would eventually result in the Churban, in the destruction of the temple. And having just been literally in the old city of Jerusalem, I have an even closer visceral feeling around what that might have looked like and felt. But even more, having been in Israel, I have a deeper and stronger felt sense of the ways in which that particular trauma continue to live on in the Jewish psyche, in the Jewish collective narrative. But here's what I want to suggest. Whether you observe the fast of Shiva Asar Tammuz or of Tisha B'Av in the next couple of weeks, I think that there's something incredibly powerful that we can be reminded of in this moment. And even with what is happening in Israel, with the most recent military activities in Jenin, again, I think there is something that we can learn from our past. And this is that, when the walls were breached in Jerusalem and eventually the temple was destroyed, I can really only imagine the level of destruction, the fire, the terror, just the loss. And the rabbis, or proto-rabbis, they had to figure out in that moment whether or not Judaism was done or whether something new could be born. To use their creativity and ingenuity and their spiritual and moral strengths to create some new form of Judaism, which would still remain as a loyal witness to the inherited tradition of the past and the memory of the temple, but would be a kind of Judaism and a set of spiritual technologies that would carry us forward. And that's what they did. And I think so too in our personal lives. My own experience is one in which from time to time, something that feels really solid, those walls come crumbling down. Something that I felt was incredibly strong physically, but also had a sort of inner structural strength. Those walls are breached. And my experience is that as destabilizing and painful as that experience can be, it is also an opportunity for healing, for growth, and for the creation of something new, whether that's inside of myself or interpersonally in a relationship with someone else. And I don't want to sound too rosy about it. I think it's really painful. I think it's really excruciating, and I think it's slow. And so in this this upcoming period of 3 weeks as we build toward Tisha B'Av, I think it's just a really powerful reminder that that it's okay to mourn what's lost and to embody that in a variety of ways, and to cry and to experience despair. And we also know that after Tisha B'Av, the work of tshuva, the work of repentance and repair and rebuilding begins. That too is woven into the fabric of creation and the fabric of our lives. And so I certainly reflect on this personally, but even nationally, I do not fully understand exactly what the military actions in Israel portend, but I know this. We, even in the midst of this destruction and violence and pain on both sides, we have the opportunity, please God, in time, bimhira v'yameinu, hopefully speedily in our days, we have the possibility of building something new. And I don't know what that looks like, and I know that I'm in good company. But I hope and pray that what it eventually looks like is a place where all people can live in peace and security and freedom, in alignment with their most wholesome and beautiful and deep values. And we play the long game as a Jewish people. So we acknowledge the suffering and the pain and the loss, and we also hold out and work to build a future that can carry us, hopefully, hundreds, if not thousands of years into the future, like the rabbis did for us several thousand years ago. All right, friends, happy 4th. Peace. Shalom.